Hola everyone, JB Thrills here, back with another video. So recently, if you haven't heard already, Knott's Berry Farm had some leaked permits come out showing a B&M Giga coming to their park. And a lot of coaster enthusiasts went absolutely crazy. And I'm betting that if you're watching this video right now, you probably have seen at least one Knott's Berry Farm B&M Giga video. But if you read the title, you notice that we're talking about Six Flags Over Texas. And it might be confusing considering that there hasn't been any leaks of a B&M Giga for Over Texas or anything like that. So how in the world did I come with the conclusion that Over Texas will get a B&M Giga? Well, first, I haven't gone crazy, so don't worry. But after some further investigation and seeing Knott's Berry Farm as a prime example for Over Texas, considering that they're very alike, it's actually very likely and more possible than you think that Over Texas will get a B&M Giga. So in today's video, I'll be talking about all the reasons why a B&M Giga could possibly come to Over Texas, and what it'll look like. Before I start the video though, I would like to say, if you like my content and videos, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to know when new videos arrive on my channel. I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers, and I would like to thank all of you for helping me get this close. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel for all those thrill seekers. While I do mainly talk about Texas theme parks, if it's a thrill, it's covered on this channel, no matter the location. So if you're into thrill rides or theme parks, you should definitely stick around. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So, Six Flags Over Texas gets a B&M Giga. Sounds insane, right? I mean, it's Six Flags. At the moment, I sound like those crazy coaster enthusiasts that want to see a B&M Giga come to every theme park. But no, I'm not crazy, and no, I'm not speculating over a tiny bush movement in Over Texas.
Something's off about these plans.
If you've been sticking by my channel for a while now, you'll know how I make predictions, and I only make a theory when there's actual evidence that can support this. So with some investigation, you won't believe it, but I actually did find some evidence that it's possible that Over Texas can get a B&M Giga in the near future. So let's look at all the evidence, shall we? So to start, let's look at Knott's Berry Farm. They're a pretty small theme park, almost like Over Texas, and they are landlocked. Another similarity is that they've also been pushed aside from Cedar Fair, just like how Six Flags pushed aside Over Texas. And both parks are very historic. So with all that together, that's nothing. Just some standard similarities. But what I'm mainly focused about is the land. Knott's Berry Farm is not a humongous theme park. And again, being landlocked is a very big situation for them. And it's actually the main reason why people are also against the idea of Knott's Berry Farm getting a B&M Giga. I mean, they're very close to some residential areas, and it's hard to quiet a B&M Giga. And they really had to squeeze this B&M Giga. But if it ends up opening, it shows that no matter the size of the park, you can get a major coaster, even a B&M Giga. So now, let's look at Over Texas. This park is also landlocked. But here's the main difference. They're not completely around residential areas. Instead, they're surrounded by a huge sprawling freeway, and on their left is the Rangers Ballpark Stadium, which is still very far away from Over Texas. Plus with lots of cars on the freeway, and residential areas being very far away from the park, not even Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast can cause a complaint. So let's just imagine that Over Texas got a B&M Giga. Would a noise complaint be an issue? No. Would space be an issue? No. Because Knott's Berry Farm managed to fit this B&M Giga in a small area of their parking lot. And Over Texas can clearly do the same, and maybe even better inside the park. So can Six Flags Over Texas physically get a B&M Giga? Yes, they have the room and they have the location. Plus, unlike California, they don't have height limits. I mean, look at Texas Skyscraper, it's 400 feet in the air. So yeah, they could get a 400-foot Giga if they wanted. I'm not saying they will, but you get the idea. Now here's the main reason why no one thinks that Over Texas will get a B&M Giga. It's Six Flags. And that's a very valid point. Like, why would a discount chain get a B&M Giga? And especially give it to Over Texas, not Magic Mountain. And that's honestly very valid, in the past. You see, in 2021, Six Flags had a turning point. And instead of caring about the money, they now cared about the quality and care that every park in their chain deserves. In 2021, we saw lots of changes to Six Flags, from lots of park updates to the removal of yearly new attractions for every Six Flags park. Instead, every park will get a new ride at their time, like what Cedar Fair does. That way they can save up and give amazing attractions to each theme park in their chain, which is honestly a way better idea than giving mediocre attractions to every park every year. And while sadly, Mike Spanos isn't the CEO of Six Flags anymore, and the new CEO kind of worries me for Six Flags, which I'll talk about in a future video. But if the new CEO actually cares about Six Flags and decides to do the same as Mike Spanos, we can actually see Six Flags become the best theme park chain in America. So with that said, let's assume that Six Flags continues the same route that Mike Spanos paved the way for. And that makes it very likely that Over Texas will get a B&M Giga. Why? Well, Six Flags' favorite child, Magic Mountain, just got destroyed. No, not physically. If Knott's Berry Farm does get this B&M Giga, they just dominated California, and Magic Mountain will not be worth to talk about. Sure, they have great rides, but when I went to Knott's Berry Farm, even before the B&M Giga, I thought it was a better theme park than Magic Mountain, because of the quality and care. Sure, they got a brand new RMC Raptor, but it's just a clone, and it's nowhere near a B&M Giga. So will Magic Mountain get a B&M Giga to combat Knott's Berry Farm? Well, maybe. But if they do, that shows weakness because all they want to do is copy Knott's Berry Farm, and that's just way too many coasters and overall just excessive. Plus, Magic Mountain has other things to worry about other than coasters if they want to get better. So if it's not Magic Mountain, why do I give it to Over Texas? Why do they need the B&M Giga, and why not any other Six Flags park in the chain? And it's not because I'm biased, it's just that it actually makes sense. Over Texas is the first Six Flags park, and they're lacking a major coaster in their park. Sure, they got Titan, which is a hyper, but it's not a B&M Giga. And in these past years, Texas has gained popularity. Lots of people have been moving to Texas for better business opportunities, better priced homes, and more. Eventually, Texas can be just as famous as California. I just hope that it never looks like California. But anyways, with lots of people coming to Texas, theme parks are becoming more and more popular, which is why Fancy Texas and Over Texas have been getting upgrades this year and in 2021. It also explains why SeaWorld is stepping it up and why Coderland, a small theme park, got a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. Because Texas needs theme parks. And right now, Over Texas and Fancy Texas are dominating. They're basically the Disneyland of Texas. So they need a huge attraction that would attract crowds. And Fancy Texas is already doing good, but Over Texas needs to step it up as well, considering that they're located in DFW, where there's more people. So a B&M Giga would be really appropriate, especially nowadays. And if Six Flags wants to get lots of money, they need to invest in Over Texas, because in a few years, Over Texas could literally be the next Magic Mountain. And giving Over Texas the B&M Giga would be a genius move from Six Flags, because then you're still beating Cedar Fair, and without the high restrictions, they can make it the tallest Giga in the world, or something like that. And if Six Flags owned a coaster better than Fury 325, then who's the better and superior theme park chain? Six Flags. I mean, lately, Cedar Fair has been lacking all thanks to COVID, and Six Flags has been on the rise. And sure, this Knott's Berry Farm B&M Giga might destroy them a bit, but if the CEO is smart, and he has the same intentions as Mike Spanos, he can bring Six Flags up back again, and dominate Cedar Fair with the B&M Giga. All it takes is good leadership. But anyways, with all these reasons that Over Texas can get a B&M Giga, I know some of you might still be hesitant. So here's some more proof. Earlier last year, we saw the return of Casa Magnetica, a defunct attraction that suddenly came back at Over Texas. Now, I actually predicted the return of this attraction, and it actually came from Knott's Berry Farm. See, the reason why I thought it would return is because Knott's Berry Farm brought back an old attraction too, which was Knott's Berry Tales. And I thought maybe Over Texas saw this, and if they did, they probably thought it was a good idea, and they would do the same for Casa Magnetica. And in result, I was right, because Casa Magnetica did return. So let's say Over Texas saw Knott's Berry Farm again with the B&M Giga, and thought, wow, Knott's Berry Farm fit that humongous B&M Giga in that tiny little piece of land, and managed to get that major coaster for a park that's landlocked. And then said, what if we could do the same? Which they literally could, but that's just speculation. Is there any other proof that Six Flags would invest in a B&M Giga? Actually, yes there is. In 2021, we saw the announcement of Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, a brand new B&M dive coaster coming to Fiesta, Texas. So with that, we now know that Six Flags is working with B&M again, and it's possible that to do it again, this time maybe with the B&M Giga. And sure, I know some of you say, well, the B&M Giga won't come to Over Texas in a very long time, considering that Aquaman is their newest coaster. But technically, Aquaman isn't that new. Over Texas bought and paid for the coaster way before 2020, and construction happened in 2020. So if you think about it, it's been 2 years since Over Texas got a new coaster. Sure, they're working on Aquaman this year, but that's only because of the delay. Otherwise, Aquaman would have already been open in 2020. And now in 2022, we would have been 2 years without a coaster, which is why we're getting Pirates of Spelunker Cave this year. So what if, as we continue to progress into 2022, Over Texas starts to get in the works for a B&M Giga coming to the park? And as we saw with Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger of his Texas, it takes 5 years to get a big coaster like that in fruition. So we could see this B&M Giga in 2027, or sooner, it all depends. But now that we know the date for this attraction, and that it's very possible to come to Over Texas in the near future, what will this B&M Giga look like and where will it be located? Well, from what we've seen in Knott's Berry Farm, it's possible that this B&M Giga could go in the parking lot. The B&M Giga station could be right next to Titan, in the previous Picnic Pavilions area. And honestly, I would not be surprised if the Picnic Pavilions got removed. I say this because recently, in the parking lot in the Diamond membership area, that's not reserved, there's now a new drop-off area and a picnic pavilion right next to the Lake of JoJo Ice Cream. Right now, the picnic pavilion does not look like much, but I'm betting that it's in its first stages of development. Maybe later this year, it'll actually become a picnic pavilion right there in that parking spot. And if that happens, we won't need the picnic pavilions next to Titan. And yes, I know that they do events there, but they could easily use the Music Mill Amphitheater for new events in the future. And with the removal of the Titan Picnic Pavilions, that adds ample room for a brand new station and queue line for the B&M Giga. And as for the B&M Giga's layout, it can either go into the parking lot, alongside New Texas Giant, or into the park, then back out again. Honestly, the layouts are endless, because from what we see with Knott's Berry Farm, Over Texas can easily fit a giant B&M Giga in any spot. Also, with no height restrictions, the coaster can easily be 400 feet tall, and can end up being the tallest B&M Giga in the world. Just imagine driving by Over Texas and you see this massive coaster in the background. Also, if this B&M Giga actually happens, they should definitely paint it red, because there's already a lot of blue coasters in the park, and green only belongs to Shockwave. So the only two colors remaining is purple or red. Maybe a red track with a purple support, or red with silver, or red with brown, but you get the idea. As for its theme, since it's in the Texas area, it could be Texas Ranger, to pay homage to the actual Texas Rangers or the baseball team, Lone Star, again paying homage to Texas, Outlaw, but that's a little bit bland, or my favorite, Big Bend. I say Big Bend because it's the perfect coaster to pay homage to the classic defunct Big Bend roller coaster at Over Texas. And this is the perfect reboot for the Big Bend roller coaster. But honestly, any name that has Texas in it just seems appropriate for a giant coaster that it is. Because not only will Over Texas get the credit of holding the record for the world's tallest B&M Giga, but also Texas as a state gets to shine with the name Texas in the coaster's name. But in result, that's my theory on Over Texas getting a B&M Giga in the near future. Honestly, it's really likely, and it's definitely not out of the question. And while there aren't any leaked permits or anything like that, who says it won't come true? It can definitely happen. I mean, if it's Texas, got a B&M dive. But in result, what do you think? Should Over Texas get a B&M Giga? And do you think it's likely? And if Over Texas doesn't get a B&M Giga, what other Six Flags park should get one? Anyways, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this theory video, make sure you share it so others can watch it as well. And if enough people watch it, maybe Six Flags can see it too. Maybe allowing for this B&M Giga to actually come to Over Texas. And if you want to see more of these type of videos, make sure you hit the like button so that way I know to make more of them. Anyways, this is JB Thrills, signing out.